We're on step number 4 out of 7 of the best ways to have an effective small group. And today we want to talk about regular contact. There's several reasons why you should be in regular contact with your small group, and I want to just kind of go through some reasons why you should be interested in contacting your small group. First of all, it'll keep the members of your small group feeling like they're connected to the group. If they have regular contact from their leader, they're going to feel like they're actually a part of this, and as a result of that, you will see that there'll be better attendance. Kids will tend to be more involved, they'll be more interested in what we're talking about. Another reason why you ought to be in regular contact is it really lets the parents know that you care about their kids. When a parent hears that you're regularly talking to their kid and regularly following up and asking them about spiritual questions, you now go from just being a Sunday school person who's there to observe the kid and make sure they don't get in trouble to somebody who's actually offering spiritual advice and counsel. And I think it's really cool on the few occasions where I've seen parents who have realized that position of the small group leader in their kid's life and have reached out to them for things like counsel and help and just prayer. That's the kind of thing you're looking for when you regularly contact your teens in your small group, or when you contact their parents as well to find out more information about them. And then lastly, it really lets you know the struggles and the victories that are going on in their life. When you're in regular contact with them, you'll find out the areas where, man, they're just having a hard time. Maybe they're not a good student. Maybe they have a hard time with their siblings. When you can find out those sort of things, it gives you something to be able to talk with them about more than just, how was your week? Good, school was boring type of conversations. So that's just a great thing to be able to do by regularly contacting them, knowing those struggles, maybe knowing the victories, maybe knowing that, hey, they really powered through a tough test this week and it was a good thing, or maybe they really went through a situation with their family but they still gave honor and glory to God, and that's a good thing as well. So that's another area to be thinking about when it comes to regularly contacting them. Now, let me just go over some ways to actually make contact with them. There's just some ways to make sure you're regularly making contact. First of all, even when you see them on Sunday or Wednesday, just ask them, hey, how can I be praying for you? Hey, what are some things I can pray for you about? And as they tell you those things, make sure you keep track of what it is. Remember, we talked about praying for them on a regular basis. Keep track of it and follow up with it. So if you have a young person who says, hey, listen, I'm going to the dentist and I'm really scared about it and I don't know if you could just pray for me, please, that'd be great. Go ahead and call them the day after they went to the dentist and just see how it went. Or when they've got something going on. Man, you know they've got a huge test coming up on Tuesday. Call them on Tuesday or call them on Monday and tell them you're praying for them. And then find out on Wednesday how it went. Those are the kinds of things that'll be helpful. Secondly, stay in contact with them by doing things like sending them cards. Like when it's their birthday, mail them a birthday card. I know that's a weird thing. We still have a postal service that works, okay? So go ahead and get a stamp and put it on there and send them it, all right? Send them a Christmas card. Send them an invitation to come to an activity. Do those kinds of things. And I say this specifically, use the regular mail system. There's a couple of reasons why I say that. Number one, it is amazing how many people ignore emails, ignore text messages, ignore messages on social media. But when you get a letter in your hand from somebody, it shows two things. One, it shows that they cared about you enough to actually go through the hassle of getting this together and sending it to you. And number two, it comes to the house. Their parents are probably going to see that it came to the house. They're going to respond to that and be extremely excited about it. So never be afraid to do that. One of the things I've been trying to be in the habit of doing, and I've done successfully a little bit, is just writing thank you notes to kids that I see that are serving in special ways. So a couple of years ago, I went to a volleyball game. A couple of the volleyball players, I was just really impressed with their attitude and with just the way they showed Christ's character in the game. And so I wrote them a card and sent it to them. And what was amazing to me is while the teens thanked me for coming to their game and for being there and cheering for them, the parents came to me and thanked me for the fact that I actually noticed those things about their kids and pointed them out. So look for things like that where you can send an actual thing in the mail, because it's amazing how it will actually impact the entire family. Thirdly, This is just a crazy idea that I got from Pastor Good, all right? I didn't know Pastor Good personally, but from what Pastor Virus has told us about Pastor Good, this is one of the things he would do. He would call them on a just ordinary Saturday, and he would say, hey, tomorrow we're going to be discussing this in ABF, and here's a question I'd like you to think about and be ready to have a really good answer for. Now, when you get the stuff telling you what's coming for the upcoming Sunday, all right, when you get that list of questions, why not pick out one or two kids and just say, hey, this Sunday, I want you to actually be ready to answer this question. So be prepared for it. That gets them engaged right away. That makes them excited to know that they've got a purpose when they come to that small group on Sunday, and it takes them away from being on the spot when it comes time to answer that question. Another thing Pastor Good would do sometimes on a Saturday is he would just call folks. They would pick up the phone and he would just say a random joke and say, I'll see you tomorrow, and hang up. And that was it. No more conversation than that. Just calling people and regularly checking in on them. Fourthly, go to their events. Go to their events. As much as you can, go to their events. And make sure they know that you're at the events, all right? So don't just go and sit on the back row and slip out, but go, be involved with the event, tell them that you enjoyed the event, shake their hand afterward, be excited that you were there. I realize, man, if you're a junior high small group leader and you get stuck going to a junior high basketball game, there is possibly nothing more boring than that. But maybe this video. But what you need to do is let them know that you were there and that you actually cared, all right? And that's an important thing that will go a long way. I hope that as you apply some principles of how to regularly contact your small group, that you will see good things happen within your small group this year, and you will have a better small group than you've ever had before.